Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube. And it's me, Lieutenant Zam, alongside Gary. Wasn't surprised. This is This Week in Football, and we have a lot to talk about regarding football. We had some midweek internationals as well as the Premier League returning, but I think it would be wise of us, Gary, to start off outside of football, mate, with the win of the US Open by Emma Raducanu last night, a girl who just a few days ago I had no idea existed. Yeah, and then next thing you know, I've been hearing all over the news and everything else that this girl called Emma Raducanu has just come into the fray and has got to the final of the US Open, for fuck's sake. So I'm just giving my bird here some more seeds. Got to the final of the US Open, and yeah, and she ended up winning it with a gashed leg as well. Straight sets. I think she hasn't dropped a set in the last 20 sets prior to yesterday. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, what we saw. I mean, I'm not sure if you watched the US Open final.
I did watch it.
Yeah, I felt, Gary, that I was watching a superstar being born in front of our eyes yesterday. You can tell that this person is going to be a megastar for a good 10, 15 years to come. She's going to be playing top of her game, seeing her at 18. We're going to be watching this girl grow into a huge tennis phenomenon over the years. I would be surprised if she doesn't end up winning Wimbledon at some particular point. This girl has it all, so yeah. What did you think yesterday, mate? Emma Raducanu.
I mean, I had heard of her before because she was in the fourth round of Wimbledon and got knocked out because she had and then people said, oh, she wasn't mentally tough. And then,
because she left. She kind of she had like what we call an anxiety attack or something like that.
Yeah. So basically, like she has to retire. So which is fair enough. I mean, again, like the thing is, she did the right thing for her.
Yeah.
And the thing is that. I mean, I've been keeping up with her progress because everyone's going like, "Oh, she's doing it again," and it's just like, she's. Are you still paying for to the royal family? Yes, we are. Yeah. So it was just great to see that this 18-year-old young lady, who was like the first qualifier to ever get to a final. Never mind, every bit she's been making history. She's the first one to get to the semi-finals, the first one to get to the final, and the first one to win it. I mean, Boris Becker made history when he was like in the top 20 and he won it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and she's 18. She's got power. She's got poise, and this is a scary thought that you got to think about, Sam. She's going to get better.
Yeah, man, she's still growing, isn't it? She's still growing.
She won US Open while not playing the stuff that's going to get her into winning multiple of these stuff. Because I reckon this could open up a lot of like media and like things like that for her. But I'm hoping that she's got a level of head to say no. And he's concentrating that, because if she concentrates and dedicates to this, she's going to be mega. She's going to be the next Serena. Because she has that sort of she's got that sort of ability. So it was just great to watch. And the thing is that lots of people like going, oh, it's great to watch. She didn't drop a set, and people going, oh, she didn't bet anybody. Do you know who she beat? Who's in front of her? And people going, oh, she could be this person, beats him. She could be this person, beats him. She could be this person, beats him. And she doesn't just beat them; she beat them in consecutive sets.
Shut the fucking floor with him, mate.
It's exactly like, what more does she need to do? Does she need to like jump up and down and like do it between the legs? She's she's a beast of a woman for 18-year-old. And the thing is that she's going to get better. And one of the things I saw online was going, oh well, she's not British. What? She's got a British accent. She lives in Britain. She went to high school in Britain. She went to normal school. She's doing her A-levels in an English British college. Yet she's not British because she trains in Canada. Not thinking for a minute, and this goes through their brain that Canada's a lot closer to New York than Britain is. That's the reason she says because she doesn't want to have jet lag.
She was born in Canada. When she was
But-
2 years old,
Mhm.
she came to England. Yeah. Sorry, I need to get my bird on picture, dude. Yeah, she was 2 years old. She came to England. Yeah, and then oh, you had enough? Okay, fair enough. All right. Yeah, she 2 years old. She came to England. She's been studying here. She's doing her A levels here. She could have gone into what I've heard. She could have gone into Oxford University. Yeah, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's going to be like if she does not say proper pro, she's flaming stupid. Because everybody in their system's going to throw enough money at her to shake a stick at. That money she just won, I think she just won, what, 1 point something million, 1.8 million or something like that, dollars, which I think is about like 1.4 in British money. You know, and the thing is that she's going to be in the next few weeks the hottest sports star in Britain. Because let's face it, I mean, for ages, I was thinking, right, who's going to get sports personality of the year? I thought
she's got it, man.
It's like thinking, do we really need to have one? Because I think won the US Open for qualifiers, the first person to ever do so, first British woman to win it in 44 years, and she didn't drop a set, and she's a beast. I think she's got it. You know, I don't think there's going to be much. Yeah, it's going to be less. She should win it at a right? Do you want to do anything else? Nope. So, absolute beast of a woman. Anyway, good, congrats to her, and I hope that we'll see her do bigger and better things, and I think we will.
And just to mention her opponent, Fernandez, I mean, she's 19 years old herself. Hey, you're going on my keyboard. Don't shit on my keyboard, all right? Don't shit on my keyboard. Hey, come here.
Yeah, like she's 19-year-old, and she'll win shit as well. I mean, the thing is, because she wasn't, you know, they had a pretty competitive match, even though that Emma won competitive. She was still there right to the end. Just that Emma adapted because Emma's a very smart player. But I mean, Emma hits hard and stuff like that.
Yeah, even though
well done.
She's a year younger than Fernandez, but she's taller than Fernandez, and she's definitely got more power than Fernandez.
Yeah, but she's not really like a Serena Williams, you know, big build. She's very dainty build.
You can get that way, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you know, she can keep on training and stuff like that, and she can end up being just as girthy as Serena Williams at some particular. But Serena Williams is a very, very powerful woman.
Oh yes, she is.
You know, and one of the things I like about, just to stick with tennis for a second, one thing of the things I like about women's tennis compared to men's tennis is in women's tennis, because they don't have the power of the men, they don't do serve and volley plays. Because usually with men's tennis, you know, you serve, you volley, you run to the, you know, so you serve, you run to the net, you volley, you finish off the point. Very rarely do you ever get any rallies. Because women's tennis is not as powerful. Sorry, women's tennis is not as powerful regarding their serves. They don't tend to do serve and volley that much. Nevertheless, great final. I mean, I was fucking nervous, man. I haven't been this nervous since the Euro final. I was so desperate for her to win. I'm very glad she won. You know, the best thing I felt in sports in a long time, and long may her reign continue at the top as hopefully the future queen of tennis. So yeah, anything more to say on Emma before we start going on to the meat and potatoes?
Just well done.
Yeah, well done, mate. Well done. So before we start talking about the Premier League, Gary, we did have some more international football this week. We had England versus Poland. This game was quite shit in my opinion, and I was a bit gutted that we didn't end up winning it because Poland sneaked in an equalizer to make it 1-1. But 1-1 in the scheme of things isn't too bad a result. You know, away from home, a 1-1 draw. Great goal by Harry Kane, by the way. Fucking hell, out of nowhere, blasting it home. Not surprised with the equalizer. You kind of felt it was coming to a degree. But yeah, how did you feel about this week's qualifiers overall?
Pretty good. I mean, the thing is, Poland are a dangerous side. Well, they've got one danger man, and that's it, really. But he's so good that you need to. It's a bit like Ronaldo or Messi that you need to mark him every single second. If you drop off that second, That's what we got. Yeah, and you know who won the pony? That's what we got.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so I'm kind of happy with the qualifiers so far. I can't feel it's not qualifying for next year's World Cup. You know, we've won, apart from the game against Poland, we won every game. We're still in pole position. We're still in the driving seat. It's ours to lose. You know, as long as we just keep winning some of the other games against the minor teams and whatever, without a doubt, we'll fucking qualify. Isn't it? You know, so we're in good stead at the moment. 5 points clear of Poland still. Nothing to complain about, as far as I'm concerned. So, you want to go on to the Premier League, mate?
Sure, let's go.
All right. Where shall we start? My team or yours?
It depends. Which one do you think is more interesting?
Well, they're both interesting. I think your one is simply because the man is back, Ronaldo. And you want to just quickly talk about Ronaldo and the performance yesterday while I bring up some football results?
As I said, Gary, I wasn't surprised. There you go, the title. Because the thing is, he's a world-class player. And world-class players have a way of making an impact. And that was a difference. We have a world-class player in front of goal who likes getting goals. And the thing is that, I mean, that first one, which was a Poch's goal, he reacted faster than anybody. I mean, people were saying, oh, he's 36. What is he going to do? Well, 36, he can still move well. And plus, he's got the nous to be there in front of everybody else. So that's why he got the first one. The second one, I think the goalkeeper should have saved it, but it was between his legs. And what you're going to do, you got a world-class player. Boom, what do you expect? So, and the thing is that he just like, you know, and then like because everything he did was with purpose. He would run at the defense with purpose. He'd shoot. He'd pass. He'd do everything. He was magnificent. And again, I didn't expect anything different than he would hit the ground running. The rest of the team, I mean, the thing is, Pogba was pretty good today. It was one of his good games. You know, he knocked it in from how far it was, but you know, Fernandes knocked it in from about 30 feet.
That was the goal of the match. His goal, in my opinion.
Like, top corner, no way the keeper even if he dived was going to get that.
There's another Portuguese here who's just reminding everyone.
And then, like the final one, which was Lingard's goal,
nice team goal,
which was very well worked. Yep, absolutely awesome. The problem was that we conceded one, which was pretty. We should have gone quick, but saying that, no, Newcastle did work that pretty well and was a good counter-attack move. So I can't really discount them, to be honest with you. Anyway, very good result, and I thought, you know, was a good, you know, was a line in the sand. So
just the acquisition of Ronaldo alone has made you guys title contenders. You could get rid of half your fucking team, yeah, throw Ronaldo's in there. All of a sudden, you're title contenders, and it's remarkable. You saw that killer instinct with the first goal, and the second goal he scored as well. You know, nutmegging the keeper with his weak foot, superb. And people were wondering if he was able to still do it at the Premier League level. I mean, why are people always doubting great players? You know, it makes me. There was no doubt in my mind the moment Ronaldo
what was going to happen
to Man United. Sorry, yeah. There's no doubt in my mind when Ronaldo came to Man United that he was going to do well because he's fucking Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, when he's always been a great player. The guy, even though I think his game has changed the older he's got, he still looks ruthless, you know, relentless, hungry. And that's a credit to him.
The thing is that he's got. I think they said something like that was his 780 something goal. I'm thinking if he's not going for 1,000, I'll eat my hat. He's going for 1,000.
That's his 200th game for club and country where he scored 2 goals or more in a game.
As I said, he's a legend. And the thing is that people now have got to give him so much attention that it's going to open up the rest of our attacking options. because they're going to give Sancho more space. They're going to give Daniel James more space. He's going to give I know Daniel James left, didn't he?
Yeah, Daniel James is gone, dude.
Yeah. Sorry, but he's going to give our wingers more space. He's going to give the ways just to hit it. It's just like boom.
He's gonna draw players to him, and then people and other dangerous players like Pogba and Fernandes
and Rashford and Sancho and the rest of the time.
Rashford seems to be a bit of an enigma recently. He's almost disappeared. Martial, I feel like he's still lucky to be playing for Man United this season, but nevertheless.
Okay, so let's talk about your team. 1-0 against Norwich. Now the thing is that I hate to say this so early on, but it's true. This was a good point for you, especially as it's a quasi relegation battle. I still don't believe you're in the relegation fight, but
this game was unconvincing for me. Like, yeah, we were the dominant team to a degree, but there was a period of time, especially before the end of the first half, when Norwich were all over us, and we couldn't have an answer. We had some. I thought some of the defensive players were excellent. I thought Tomiyasu was pretty good. I don't think he was as amazing as everyone else makes out him to be, but he was okay. I thought Ben White was good. I thought Gabriel was fantastic. For me, he was the man of the match. Kieran Tierney was a bit more subdued, a bit more orthodox at left back in that game. Aaron Ramsdale, the goalkeeper, was pretty good. Sambi Lokonga was okay. I didn't think. It's funny, we had three people playing right back in this game. First of all, it was Tomiyasu. Then Tomiyasu got substituted, and then Maitland-Niles filled in at right back. And then Maitland-Niles got substituted, and then fucking Cedric Suarez filled in at right back. It was very bizarre to see three different fucking right backs during the course of that game. But nevertheless, we got the 1-0. The rest of the attacking side of our game wasn't that great. I mean, even though Pepe looked dangerous, but he also looked
I think that this could be a catalyst for you to turn things around, because again, just need to get.
Did you see the goal Aubameyang scored? It was a fucking joke, man. It was a fucking joke.
You need that. When you're having a bad run of results, that you need that little bit of the green, a little bit of the luck. And you got the bit of the luck. So
yeah, we didn't look relentless enough. Yeah, like there's hesitation too often at times with our play. We walk when we should be running, and we're running when we should be sprinting. I want some ruthlessness to our play. There were some good moments. The keeper for Norwich made some good saves, on a couple against Aubameyang, once against Smith Rowe. I think he did a good save against. There's a good block as well, like against Pepe. But regardless of all of that, we only got 1-0 with a scrappy goal, a seriously scrappy goal, and I'm not convinced, dude. I'm not convinced. When we played Burnley away from home on their ground, they're a physical outfit, and Norwich are not a physical outfit. Burnley are. They use their strength and size as their strong point, and Arsenal have always been terrible against strong teams. Historically under Wenger, we've always had too many fucking pussies in our team to ever get past any muscle. We got hustle, but no muscle to match it. Now we've got a couple of players now with a bit of backbone, in Gabriel, in fucking Thomas Partey, Tomiyasu as well. He's a strong lad, but I don't know, man. Like, if we made a meal out of fucking Norwich at home, what we're gonna make out of Burnley away from home? I'm not convinced at all, boss man. I'm not convinced at all. It's at least we're at the relegation zone. But
that's the best thing. And plus, the thing is that you just need that little bit of luck. You got it, and hopefully this could be a catalyst for you to having a pretty decent season. You're not going to confirm to the title, so I hate to be the one who kind of tells you that. But if you'll be, hopefully with that, you'll start going towards top 6, maybe. I don't know.
That's fucking wishful thinking, man. Yeah,
Right,
like
so
I
let's
said,
go through. Let's go through the rest of the results. So
I want to quickly mention the first one here of these results. Yeah, we have
that's why
Crystal
I was
Palace versus Tottenham, and obviously I'm very happy with this result because
You hate
Tottenham
Tottenham.
lost 3-0 to Crystal Palace, but Tottenham have got a lot on their plate when it comes to London derbies these next few weeks because they've already played Crystal Palace, then they'll be playing West Ham, then they'll be playing Chelsea, and then they'll be playing Arsenal. So they've got loads of fucking London derbies. And the next 3 games are like their biggest London derby because Crystal Palace is a London derby, but there's no real rivalry there. Tottenham are despised by West Ham. Chelsea don't like Tottenham either. And obviously Arsenal don't like Tottenham either. So those are going to be some big matches for them to have to deal with. And it's going to be interesting to see how they play. But their bubbles burst. You know, to lose to Crystal Palace 3-0. I didn't see that one coming, did you? Bossman? You there, mate?
Yeah. I'm just thinking about Tottenham because the thing is, Tottenham have been leading the league, but everyone said they're going to crumble. Well, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, Crystal Palace are a difficult side to beat, and I think that, like, you know, I think if they can come out with the London derbies you're talking about, if they could come out with like two or three, they might do all right. Because the thing is that Crystal Palace are a difficult team to beat. West Ham's a difficult team to beat, and I think you'll be up for that, even if you're a shit side. You'll be up for
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, we'll definitely be motivated for that match. That's for sure.
Watford beat Watford. I couldn't give a toss. That's mid-table.
Watford were actually doing quite well in that game, and then Wolves turned it around and ended up being victorious. A couple of good goals, I guess. Well, actually, the first one was a good one. The second one was a tap-in. Brighton back to winning ways again, beating Brentford 1-0. So they're still top half of the league. We'll have a look at the league table in a minute. It's a good result for them. Obviously, your boys there, Man United, Newcastle. Going on about Newcastle.
I thought West Ham would have beaten that.
Well, that's it. I mean, sorry, just go on about Newcastle for a sec. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with this club because they just seem to be a club going nowhere at the moment. Yeah, optimistic.
It's because Steve Bruce is good at keeping size up, but he's not good at taking.
Yeah, but they've got an owner as well, like ours, who doesn't invest enough in the club.
Well, Steve Owsley.
Sorry,
Steve Owsley.
Is that his name?
Ashley, Mike Ashley.
Mike Ashley, yeah, that's it.
So Mike Ashley.
Oh, Mike Ashley, yeah. But look, I give credit to West Ham. They've had a good start to the season. To have a red card away from home, whoever you're playing, you know, and just to keep it respectable 0-0, I'm sure they'll be happy with that and they'll take that.
Okay.
You know,
City beat Leicester 1-0.
Yeah, that's revenge.
That's actually a decent result for City.
That's a very good result for Manchester City, and revenge as well for losing the Charity Shield or whatever it's called, Community Shield.
Chelsea beat Villa 3-0.
I saw this game, and there's a lot of credit goes to Chelsea here, but I think the scoreline makes it look more of a walkover than it was. And you have to understand Aston Villa had a couple of players out because of the old Brazil fucking Argentina debacle when it was international duty. Players like Martinez wasn't able to play for Aston Villa, but nevertheless, Lukaku scored a brace. He is the finished article right now, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking hell. It's amazing they got
Liverpool
rid of him.
3-0. I considering how I don't think Leeds are bad. I just think that because the top teams are going to get their ass handed to them. And Liverpool, I was right. Because we beat them 4-0. Liverpool beat them 3-0. I reckon City will do 5-0 on them.
I reckon that too, mate. You know, Leeds United are a team with gusto, but they just are so bad at defending. It's unreal. Attacking, yes. Defending, no. And you go up against a team like Liverpool with a terrific front three. Even with somebody like Firmino missing, you know, you got Diego Jota slotting in there. You know, another Portuguese speaking player. and boom, banging 3 goals. And if Salah scores, Mane's usually going to score as well. And there's no surprise that was the result. Tomorrow's Everton versus Burnley. That's a thing.
Everton will have that. Everton are a pretty decent side.
I expect Everton to win tomorrow. I'll be shocked if Burnley get a result. I mean, if it's a draw, fair enough. But if Burnley win, I'll be shocked because the way Everton are going about things, I expect them to get a result. So let's have a look at the league table, shall we? Okay, and Man United sitting pretty at the top. Your goal difference has kept you up there, mate.
Well, as I said, City will start climbing again because the thing is that they're good. They're too good of a side not to.
Yeah, but that loss, so long as you guys don't lose, that loss against City is amongst there.
I'm trying to think who could beat them next because the thing is, City might get beaten by Brighton. They might get beaten by West Ham. I reckon anyone in the top, I reckon 10 could have them. See, because they're pretty on their own asses when, we don't need a striker. Well, see how you feel when you get your asses handed to you by an actual decent side.
And this is where goals matter as well, because all those goals Manchester City have scored has benefited them compared to, say, Tottenham, who were top of the league last week, have dropped all the way down to 6. Yeah, because they've only banged in 3 fucking goals this season. And with 3 goals now conceded, they've got a goal difference of 0. So they dropped down to 6 because of that. Goals wins prizes. But much respect to Brighton.
For 5.
They are also amongst the big boys. And they're flying high this season. We'll see what they end up going with by the end of the season. But West Ham are still up there. 2 draws in their last 2 games. Not fantastic, but they're not losses. You know, they want to go back to winning ways eventually. And if they're playing Spurs next week, I think they might be. I'll look at the matches in a second. Then that will be a good motivator for them. Everton are playing tomorrow, so they're still in a healthy spot. They get a win tomorrow, Everton, and they're in the top 4, man. Yeah, they're on 7 points at the moment. The top 3 teams are all on 10 points. Everton get a win. They're in the fucking top 4. Leicester are mid-table. Brentford, Palace mid. Look at Palace, mid-table. You know, like everyone was concerned about Patrick Vieira losing his job and shit like that very early on in the season. That win against fucking Tottenham has just changed everything around. Look at Arsenal, 16th, mate. 16th. 3 losses at the beginning of the season. All these other teams are not too fussed about. Southampton have got draws. Haven't got a single
look at
win.
Norwich. They've got to be really troubled now because they were lost.
Man. They haven't got points in the name.
10. Negative 10 for the goal distance already. God, that's going to be hard to overcome.
Leeds are really far down there, by the way, and Burnley too. Burnley have they need a win against Everton, or they're going to be in the shit as well. Like. They get 4 points, they fly up the fucking into mid-table. You know, they lose, they stay in the relegation zone. It's not looking good for Burnley at all. So let's go back to the matches and have a look at what's going on next week.
So we've got Newcastle against Leeds. I reckon Leeds.
Oh, that's a 6-pointer, man. So can I just quickly go back to the table again? Okay. Newcastle and Leeds are both at the relegate. Well, Leeds are 1 point above. 1 point above.
I reckon Leeds will have that.
Yeah.
Also,
so it's a tough
Wolves against Brentford.
That's Friday, by the way. That's not bad.
Wolves against Brentford. Don't care. Norwich against Watford. Don't care. You against Burnley. Here. Well, I reckon Burnley might. Burnley might have you. I don't know.
Well, we are playing away from home, and like I said, they are a muscular team. But the only thing going for us, I mean, personally, I want Everton to win. It's fundamental. Everton beat, as far as Arsenal are concerned, beat Burnley tomorrow. And then hopefully they'll demoralise Burnley even further. Now, Manchester City are playing Southampton. There's always banana skins in football, and there's always games where you don't expect a team to win, or don't expect a team to lose. In Manchester City's case, you expect them to win. And I expect Manchester City to win, but you never know. You never know. Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. I expect Liverpool to win that game, regardless of what Crystal Palace
Everton
did.
against Aston Villa. Everton will win that.
You think so? Away from home?
Yeah. Brighton against Leicester City. I reckon Leicester will win that. United against West Ham. United will win that. Tottenham against Chelsea. That's the one that I can't quite call. I'd say.
I think
Tottenham,
Chelsea will win that. I think Chelsea are in the driving seat, and this will be the second London derby for Tottenham, and they might have one eye for next week as well. So yeah, there's some interesting fixtures. No Monday games, thank God for that. I'm not a big fan of games on Mondays, but nevertheless, Friday, I'd rather have a Friday game like they're doing with the Newcastle Leeds game than the game on the Monday. Get us into the weekend, not after the weekend. But yeah, I'm surprised Wolves and Brentford is a 12:30 kickoff. There's nothing spectacular about that match at all, And some games are kicking off at 2:00. Oh, so that's on Sunday. That's why. Fair enough. But yeah, that will probably be on telly, so you get to see that one hopefully. But yeah, what match? The weekend fixtures, I think it's really Tottenham versus Chelsea that seems to be the big match of the weekend. Everything else seems to be kind of mundane. I think West Ham Man United will be a good game. I do think so. I mean, West Ham shouldn't be underestimated. They've done well this season. Let me quickly look at the table. I don't think they've lost this season. No, they haven't lost this season, and neither of you guys. So I think that'll be a good match next week. Aston Villa Everton, I can see being a good game. Battle of the mid-table. So yeah, they're equally matched teams, in my opinion. Any banana skins there? You think Crystal Palace can pull an upset against Liverpool?
No.
Yeah?
Nope.
No. Okay, nope. Fair enough.
Liverpool are too good a side. If Palace were a little bit better team, maybe.
I'll never forget when fucking Aston Villa beat Liverpool 7-2, and those things don't happen too often. But you just never know in football. It's just so bizarre. Man City versus Southampton. Do you think Southampton could pull off an upset at the Etihad?
No. If they did, I'll be totally shocked.
Yeah,
since they lost against Tottenham, have just been rolling. That pissed them off. It's also like, but the thing is, what we're suffering from is the fact that they don't have an out-and-out striker.
Yeah, I agree. They don't.
But again, they'll get taught when they get their answers handed to them by better sides, who do have that. But if United beat him, if Liverpool beat him, that's when they'll start going. Or maybe because Jack Grealish is good, but who is their striker?
I'm a bit concerned about Grealish because when he first came on the scene, I thought he was great, but recently I think he's starting to become a little bit diluted, and he's not as he was a bit of a one-man team for Aston Villa, but watching him play for England, he doesn't seem to be that play. He seems to be levels with everyone else, if you know what I mean. When you play for a bit like Matthew Letitia for Southampton, he was far the better player for Southampton. He was the big fish in a small pond. Jack Grealish is far superior than any of his teammates, and he's got some good teammates as well. Aston Villa when he was playing with them, but he was far better than all of them. You see him play for England, where he's playing with people who are a similar standard or better than him, and you can see the difference. And then and I have to say the same with Manchester City. He's now playing alongside some world-class players, and he's really got to show his level that he belongs with that competition. So it's going to be interesting to see how good Jack Grealish really is. But yeah, all right. So next week, more football before we get into the international break, which will be in the beginning of October. There'll be some early October games, and then there'll be a break for about a week after the first week of October, and then we get into the international break again. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much about the following week's games because we can always do that next week. But it must be very exciting times as a Manchester United fan. You got West Ham obviously next week. You should beat them, in my opinion. I don't think it'll be a walkover, but as long as you got Cristiano Ronaldo in your starting 11, you've got a difference maker. And not just him as well. You got people like Rafael Varane. You got some real leaders in your team, dude. Sancho looks a bit doesn't look too great at the moment. You think he'll come good?
No, it'll be fine. As I said, the thing is that he's starting for us. So
yeah,
the thing is that
great,
plus play with Ronaldo will have a positive impact on him.
I'll also say this: Jesse Lingard looks to be revitalized. It's amazing, where he's come the last 12 months, being thrown on loan to West Ham, where he reminded people how good he can be, and now he's back in the Man United team, back in the England fucking team as well. He's really changed his fortunes around. He's like a phoenix from the ashes. Old Jesse Lingard. I think because he's not that young anymore. He's like 28, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's coming up to his golden years. He's at his peak at the moment, but eventually he'll hit his 30s before he knows it, and then he'll be surplus to requirements if he's not keeping up with fitness and keeping up to a particular level. But it's good to see him, in a way, prove his doubters wrong. If anything, he looks better than he's ever been these last 12 months. Would you say that?
Well, I think it's because he got shipped off to West Ham and didn't he's like, well, I need to up my game, and he's upped his game. So
he was superb for West Ham. He really stood out for West Ham more than he's ever stood out for Man United. He's had the odd glory moment for Man United. I remember that also he scored a really good goal in the World Cup for England. But other than that, I don't think he's been that, amazing until he moved to West Ham. And now I'm starting to see a Jesse Lingard who happens to be very, very good. And I don't think Man United will sell him anytime soon, in my opinion. I think he's back amongst that squad.
Yeah.
So well done to him.
Yeah. Well, again, I think well, I don't know. I mean, as I said, I don't know what sort of thing Ollie wants to do, because the thing is that I reckon Sancho is pretty good at the moment. He's just like a lot of his crosses, people aren't getting on the end of, which is a shame because they're not really going for it. But I think that now we've got Ronaldo, they'll start going for him, because he does them with a pace and with the. And he's fast as hell.
And you got someone like Sancho there, who should be delivering crosses, and then you got someone like Ronaldo, who's one of the best guys in the air with his head. Sancho should be thanking his lucky stars that he's got a teammate like fucking Ronaldo, because that guy will make him look good. You just fucking cross the ball into the box, Sancho, and fucking Ronaldo will get his head on the end of it, and he'll make you look like a fucking superstar. Mm-hmm. So Sancho should just take advantage of those particular things. Excuse me. But as far as my team is concerned, Arsenal, I can't see us. I want to see some improvement. I want to see some intensity in our football, but I'm not getting any of that. I see when I see Aubameyang play, I look at a guy who's just so fucking casual. He looks like he's playing football on sleep mode. It drives me nuts. And the fact that we haven't invested in another striker has pissed me off a little bit. But I really do feel that we need to get somebody who's going to put Aubameyang on his toes. But sometimes as a footballer, when you get these, incredible, footballing contracts like he has, it almost makes you relax. Like, yeah, I've made everything I need to make. I'm never going to achieve anything for my country because I'm the best player for my country, and my teammates are all shit. So what he's got to achieve is for his club, and he's achieved that. He's earned a fucking £350,000 a week contract. That's the ultimate prize, because he's not going to win fucking trophies with Arsenal, is he? It makes him a little bit relaxed. It's the same thing which happened with Mesut Ozil to a degree. But and I think someone like Aubameyang, I think he has a lot of distractions off the pitch as well. He's quite a flamboyant guy. I wonder if he thinks about football as much as he does when he's playing it. When he's not playing it. But nevertheless, I want to see more from him, because that goal he scored was fucking shit, and the goals he should have scored, he didn't score. Oh, it's very, very frustrating. Very frustrating. I want to see more from Nicolas Pepe. So you want to say something, mate?
I was going to say, well, the thing is that, as I said, this is just that little bit of luck you needed to rebuild your season. So I think you'll just push on from here. If you don't,
fair
then
enough.
you really need to make a change at the management position, because the thing is, any manager worth his salt would take this positive momentum you've just gotten and use it to spur you on to that season. Because unless you're playing somebody in the top, I'd say top 6, you're going to probably get a win. Because if you don't, then you're in real trouble.
But what we need as well, we need to beat. And I say this with the most respect, and I don't know why I'm even saying this like that. But fuck the respect. We need to beat Man United. We need to beat a Manchester City. We need to beat a Chelsea. We need to beat a Spurs, and we need to beat a Liverpool. We need to beat one of those top 5 teams, because we're considered to be part of the top 6. Yeah, and to be part of that top 6, we need to beat one of those top 5 teams, and I can't see us. I mean, maybe Spurs.
Right. Do you want me to be honest with you? No way you beat City, no way you beat United. You maybe beat Tottenham, you maybe beat Liverpool.
We've got a good. We've got a good. I think you forget that. We've got a good record against you guys recently. I think we beat you last season, and we got a draw against you last season. So it's not too bad against Man United. I don't think Solskjaer is beating Mikel Arteta in a game of football.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get me wrong. The same was going with Chelsea for a little while too. But they owned us. They owned us, and I don't. Regardless of that particular record, Gary. Regardless of that record, I still think Man United will be favourites easily.
Well, because we've got Cristiano.
Even if you didn't have Cristiano Ronaldo, you'd still be favourites, in my opinion. I do think you got some deadwood. I think you got to get rid of Martial. Martial is deadwood, in my opinion.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is that he could have moved, but apparently he said no, I want to stay. So,
what do you expect? You got fucking Cristiano Ronaldo on the team, dude. Who wants to leave when Ronaldo joins? And even if he takes your spot, you want to still think to yourself, maybe I could still somehow get to play with him in some capacity. Okay. So, yeah. We'll see what happens. But Arsenal have to be one of the top 5, or we're never going to achieve anything as a football club. The fact that we were actually, we kind of expected us to lose against Chelsea and Manchester City kind of shows where we are as a football club, because we expected us to lose. What does that have to say about us? We're not. We're useless. We need to have. We need to know. Look, I'm not deluded. I'm not like dickheads like Ty on AFTV, who is so fucking deluded that they'll think that we'll beat anyone. But I want my club to surprise me when we play a particular game of football. I want them to surprise me by getting a good victory against a team we're supposed to lose against, because that's football at the end of the day. When we played Chelsea last season on Boxing Day, I believe, I expected us to lose that game, and that was one of the first times I saw us under this rot, under Mikel Arteta, play extremely well. Emil Smith-Rowe was added to the team, and we had a whole new dynamic, but there's too much weight put on that young man's shoulders recently. Giving him the number 10 shirt so soon, kind of ridiculous in my opinion. Now I look at it, but whatever, it's just a fucking shirt number. I just hope he ends up being the sort of player Mikel Arteta and the board think he will end up being. He's a good young talent for sure, but we still need more players. We need better attacking players for sure, and we need players to put the heebie-jeebies on people like Nicolas Pepe, because I don't think Nicolas Pepe has to worry about his position. There's nobody there who's going to take his role. If Saka goes on the right, Pepe will go on the fucking left. If Aubameyang goes on the left, then Pepe's still going to be playing on the right. And I think Pepe's better on the left personally. He's so much better when he plays more orthodox football, Nicolas Pepe. When he tries to be a bit razzmatazzy, because he's playing on the right wing and he always cuts in on his left, he tries to be a bit too much of a jinker. Jink. and he does a bit more than he has to. But when he was playing on the left, he was playing a bit more orthodox, and he would just be crossing the ball in because he can do. And I thought his play was far better that way. Sometimes when these players are just playing a bit more basic, simple football, they look far better than when they fucking do all the fucking skills to pay the bills bollocks. Because right now, our bills are not fucking getting paid. We're in fucking debt. It's that bad at the moment. But we'll see. We'll see. Burnley will be a different test to Norwich, regardless of both teams being relegation fodder. Norwich are just a shit team all round, but Burnley are a more stronger physical team. So we'll see how our new team, so to speak, under Mikel Arteta, is able to handle a team like Burnley. Can we handle their physicality? When I think of Burnley, it's like a cold day Tuesday night at Stoke. It's that same sort of thing. You know what I mean? So yeah. All right then, mate. Any more to say on this week in football? Wonderful. Well, once again, I just want to say congratulations to Emma Raducanu for winning the US Open. I love fucking tennis, and I love it when British fucking players are winning fucking titles. And it's really good to see a female star. But I'm 44 years old, boss man, and the last person to win was 44 fucking years ago when I was about 2 fucking months old. So and it's good to see somebody else has taken that mantle. 18 years old. She's got a long way to fucking go. Regarding the football, there's my birdie. Regarding the football, let me just see if I can get her here. 1 second. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Here she is. Yeah. Regarding the football, let's just hope both our teams do well this season. I'm hoping that Burnley. Let me give her another seed. I'm hoping Burnley, do the biz. So not Burnley. I'm hoping Everton do the business tomorrow. And this girl's spilling seeds all over my fucking. You're spilling seeds all over me, Dale. All over me. That's what you're doing. Yeah. I hope Everton get a victory over Burnley tomorrow, just to demoralize them a little bit before we play them. You're gonna go now. You're gonna go now. Yeah, good. Fucking spilling fucking seed dust all over my fucking shorts. All right. But yeah. Hopefully Everton will get a victory tomorrow. I'll be watching that game. I want to see how Burnley play. I really do. So.
Well, if they win, they might give you a game when they play you next. You got to hope that they just don't turn up. But the thing is, he's so Dyche. He's a great coach. So.
Yeah, Sean Dyche. Yeah, I'm surprised he's still at Burnley. You would have thought he would have maybe tried his hand at somebody else.
Well, I reckon if he keeps him up this season, he's probably going to go. Because something like Tottenham or something like West Ham. No, not West Ham, but I bet he might offer him more money.
Yeah, I'm trying to put you back in the cage so you can get some water. Damn it. Sorry, I apologize about the bird.
It's all right.
No problem. All right then, boss man. I'm going to try and get my little birdie back in the cage.
All right, hopefully we'll have a wrestling roundtable tonight.
Yes, anybody still watching, we're going to try and talk about wrestling a little bit later on today. So please keep... Can you hear my bird flapping?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about wrestling a little bit later on today. Wrestling roundtable with myself, Gary, Jose, and anybody else we can find to join us. We'll be doing that in about just under 3 hours from now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 11 p.m. UK time. So please join us for that if you like to talk about wrestling. I know nothing about wrestling anymore. I did watch AEW, a little bit of it, because I was kind of intrigued about CM Punk's returning. And I'll tell you, this is somebody who's digested a large amount of WWE wrestling in his life. Watching AEW was a breath of fucking fresh air. They're not formulaic like the WWE is. And it's good to see talent being recognized as talent and talent being happy as well in a company that treats them like fucking human beings. I think that's fundamental. So we'll be talking about that as well as the lies Hulk Hogan has said over the years. That's going to be a funny one. So thank you very much, Gary. And thank you very much, everyone else. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube. We are the greatest YouTube channel you never fucking heard of. and we'll see you cunts later. Bye.